Glitchy Hospital, me? Posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by Eric Strife. I work at a hospital as an RRT, registered respiratory therapist, and the following happened only a few hours ago. I was running 3 floors with 13 patients under my direct care. 6 of them I have treated for a few days, and I know them in terms of we have talked a while, I treat them. I am considered a kind person by most patients, so they talk to me and tell me about their lives and their family, etc. There is a particular lady, 73 years old, terminal patient. I've been treating her for 4 days now, so she knows me well enough not to confuse me with anyone else, as stated. We have talked before and even joke around. Nice lady. At around 1:30 a.m. I was headed to her room to provide treatment, but as I was walking through the hallway, a code came in, and I had to turn around and instead run all the way to the ER to deal with the code the ambulance was bringing in. I was with that coding patient for a good 25 minutes while all the nurses and the doctor trying to save his life, and unfortunately couldn't. After that, I had to continue my normal rounds, and my next stop was obviously the lady I was going to treat prior to the code's arrival. So I went to her room, and she saw me and asked, "What happened? Did you forget something?" I thought nothing of it, and told her it was time for her treatment, to which she replied, "Son, but you already gave me the treatment, only a few minutes ago." I said, "Ma'am, I have not. Did someone come in and give you the treatment?" Which should not have happened anyway, as I had with me her treatment chart. She said, "You gave me the treatment only a few minutes ago. You came in, like you always do, asked me how I felt. We talked about adjusting my dose because it's making my heart race like a horse, and you said that you would look into it." Mind you, she was not alone. Her granddaughter was there too, and she also said that I'd been there only a few minutes ago. After trying to process what she said to me for a few seconds, I asked, "Ma'am, are you sure someone came in here and treated you?" To which she replied, "Not someone. You. You are the only one who treats me at night. You and that crazy nurse out there." I was confused and told her to hang on a minute. So I went outside and went to the nurse's desk where the patient's records are kept to see if anyone had written on it, looking for any treatment anyone else had given her, but there was none written. I went back into the room and said I still had to give her her treatment, obviously, or I could have lost my job for that. Anyway, as I'm treating her, I'm asking her granddaughter about it, and she is also 100% certain it was me that gave her the treatment, and that we indeed talked about adjusting her dose. Now I'm here thinking and asking myself, what the heck? I was in the ER, and there were several witnesses. I was there for a good 25 minutes, but the patient and her relative claim I was both in the room with them during that time. There are no records of any treatment on the main patient records, and we RTs carry around a little chart of our personal patients for the shift, and no one else but me had it. So what happened here? I asked the nurse outside at the desk if she saw anyone going in, to which she replied, "Other than you, no one." I asked again, "Are you sure you didn't see anyone going in?" "Well, no, just you. You went in, were in there a few minutes, came back out, walked right past me, and then went down the stairs, and just came back." So the nurse is saying that indeed I went into the room, then left, and now came back, but it wasn't me. I was in the ER. After this all happened, I talked to the security guard and asked him to please check the security footage and let me know if someone went in. About half hour later, I came back and he said yes, indeed, someone went in, looked physically just like me, wearing the same uniform, but couldn't make out the face as I never actually faced the camera, so the footage never caught my face. So now we have footage of me walking into the room, and, brace yourself, footage of me in the ER at the same time. Needless to say, they're looking into this right now. Like I said, this only happened a few hours ago. And I just got home, and I was driving home, and all I could think was glitch in the Matrix. So here I am posting for all to read. Why her, not me? Posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by Apo218. Last night I dreamed that I was present during a terrorist attack on my college campus. For some reason I knew threats had been received and who was forcefully involved, but I had kept it a secret because of the guy in charge found out that they told me those people would die. I don't know when I found out this was going to happen, but this is how it went. I was in a lecture hall and the professor, our speaker, receives a phone call saying that 4 people in the room had bombs on them. But it wasn't really a warning. It was more like a get ready because it's going to happen. Now in real life, I personally know one of the girls who has a bomb strapped to her in my dream. She recently posted a Facebook status talking about happiness and looking at positive things in life, instead of focusing on the negative. I admired that about her when I read her status. I've only spent time with this person throughout one weekend at a conference, and that's how we met. Now in the dream, when the professor or speaker received this phone call about the bombers, the caller said, "Here is number 1, 2, etc." And students stood up as their numbers were called. She was one of them, and I made eye contact with her after she stood up. She wasn't crying hysterically. She was silent and tears were streaming down her face. I'm not exactly sure why, but instead of blocking the exit where she was supposed to be, she stepped aside and seemed to be thinking that she wanted people to escape. She never really said anything, and she stayed behind. After I got out, the building exploded in my dream. I was thinking about how I didn't get chosen to die by having a bomb strapped to me, and I was wondering if it was luck, coincidence, etc. In my dream, I thought back to reading her Facebook status. I wonder if she really lived a happy life, and now that she was facing death, was she satisfied with the life she lived? Now, in real life, I woke up and I was shocked at that girl's death in my dream. She was the only person I recognized in my dream. I was going somewhere with a friend this morning, and I was telling him about my dream on the way. After we got off the car, he asked me what was going to happen the next time I saw her, if I ever saw her again. Was I going to tell her that I dreamt she died? As soon as he asked me that, she was across the street from me. I called out to her, and she was happy and cheery, like she always is. We talked about catching up sometime, but I didn't tell her about my dream, and I don't think I ever will. Seeing her this morning was literally the weirdest thing ever. House doors inexplicably lock themselves, posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by Think So Too. This glitch happened several months ago, but I didn't know if I should post it or not, as there might be some logical explanations that we just weren't able to find. Well, we didn't get to any explanation so far, so maybe the sub can help. Last summer, I was a little upset and I kind of slammed my bedroom door on the way out. I also didn't want my children to go in there, as they are very little and I had work papers scattered around. So, as I shut the door, I was thinking it would be useful if I could lock this door from the outside. I promise you, when I tried to get into my bedroom again, something like 10 minutes later, the door was locked. The key was inside the bedroom where no one was. My first very irrational thought was, okay, I locked it with my thoughts. My boyfriend explained to me that sometimes if you shut a door really hard, it can trigger the locking system. I didn't shut it really hard, but I reckon that those doors were pretty cheap and something must have malfunctioned, like he said. The access problem was easily solved. We went around the apartment, got in through the open window, then unlocked the door from the inside of the bedroom. Next morning I wake up, and on my way to the bathroom I try to open the bathroom door, and it's locked. My boyfriend and my children are all sleeping. I wake him up and try to figure this out. We never close the door to the bathroom at night because it's noisy, and by opening and closing, we wake each other up. He assured me that he left it wide open so that not even the drafts make it slam. So not only the door was closed instead of being wide open as he left it, but also locked, again with the key inside. Well, this time we had to call a locksmith because the bathroom has iron bars on the window and there was no way for us to get in. We were embarrassed to explain how that happened, especially as we had no explanation, nor did he when we asked. If my boyfriend was being rational the first time, the second time, he was completely baffled. Okay, that the locking system might somehow fail, but twice in 24 hours on 2 different doors? And the door that was left wide open? Normal coincidences, deja vu, or glitch in the matrix. Posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by JeanJacket143. I don't know how to explain this. Maybe it's nothing, maybe I'm overreacting, maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's something. But ever since I was little, I would have very vivid, scary dreams, or weird dreams. But most of the time, I would have what you would call a regular moment in my dream, such as me spilling juice, or dropping something, or a song, etc. Then the next day, it would almost always happen. It would happen very often, and now it doesn't happen as often, but still sometimes. Sometimes I will get deja vu every day for a week or two, and then it will abruptly stop. Now I get it less often. Have you ever guessed what song would play next on the radio? I know it sounds cliche, or if you have thought of something random and simple, and it would happen. It's hard to explain, but it's been happening so often to me, starting maybe last week. For example, I watched a video of a little girl singing an old song. The next day I heard that song on the radio. Another thing that has happened was a random childhood movie popped into my head one day, and a few hours later it was on TV. One last thing that really creeps me out is I thought of a close friend from last year. I switched private schools and haven't heard from her in a while, and thought, I wonder how she's doing. And a few minutes later, she texts me out of the blue. I haven't heard from her in almost a year. And this has been happening every day. I'm used to it happening a couple times a month. It's normal to get deja vu, and I have coincidences a couple times a month, right? At least for me, it has always been, but now it's happening every day. And I couldn't keep from sharing. I'm bewildered. Am I overreacting? Does anyone have an explanation or theory? The Mandela Effect. Posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by JeanJacket143. I have memories that I swear happened from when I was little, but my parents or other family members that were a part of those memories swear it didn't happen. However, those memories are etched into my brain. It's annoying and weird. Example, I have memories from when I was 5 or 6 of us finding a turtle in the backyard of our old house. I remember my dad bringing it inside and us keeping it in a tank for maybe a few weeks, then bringing it to a pet store. Both of my parents deny this and other simple stories. It's frustrating because my mom claims I'm making stuff up. And it's awkward at the dinner table with my family when I'm like, remember when? And sometimes my younger sister remembers too, if she's part of that memory. It's just the adults that swear it never happened. Any explanation? Billboard like out of They Live? Posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by Zact2011. As I was driving home down the interstate this afternoon, I was thinking about a sale coming up in my future investments. Then about being worth a lot more than starting out in the past. This is a long and personal train of thoughts when I see a billboard of a man and the words "Don't be a millionaire" on it. I'm looking at it, blinking, wondering why a billboard would say that. I keep driving towards it, bewildered. I look toward the road to check real quick and look back, and the sign says, "Don't be a mulch bag," which to me makes even less sense. It felt like a scene out of They Live. 9 out of 10 was definitely weird. 2 recent glitches posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by Roril. 1. I was going past the Jose's Beef Burritos. I was considering buying one of them, but when I walked by it again, it was chicken and cheese. Same brand, so I wasn't confused or anything. And 2, I was taking some pizza out of the refrigerator. Some sauce fell off of it and landed on the bottom. I promptly cleaned it up, but the stain suddenly dried up as if it was there for over a week. My daughter's first glitch, posted in the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit by Plays with Pixels. We should start changing our last name to Badir Minhoff. It happens so much in our house. Today we decided to go to a local candy store, and on the way my daughter started singing Candy Shop. Then we went out to eat and came home. We accidentally left the TV on. We were watching SNL on Logo before we left. When we started putting the candy away, the musical guest came on, and it was 50 Cent, and he sang Candy Shop. She was freaked out that happened to her. I just laughed.